The Middle East is on tenterhooks. In the end of July, Iran vowed revenge after the assassination of Hamas's political head and a senior Hezbollah commander. But more than 2 weeks on, there is still no large-scale response, leaving the world wondering what's going on. Iran has promised to avenge the death of Ismail Haniyeh, a senior Hamas leader who was killed in Tehran on the 31st of July after he attended the inauguration of Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian. While Israel has not taken responsibility for the killing, Iran, which backs Hamas, has blamed Israel for the assassination. A day before Haniyeh was murdered, Fuad Shukr, a senior commander in Hezbollah, which is also supported by Iran, was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Lebanon's Beirut. The Israeli government said the strike was in retaliation for a rocket fired from Lebanon that struck a soccer field in the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights, killing at least 12 people, mostly teenagers and children. Hezbollah has denied carrying out that attack. But Haniyeh's killing was seen as a greater blow to Tehran because it took place on Iranian soil. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei issued an order for Iran to strike Israel directly. Failing to follow through on that threat would leave Iran vulnerable. Iran could strike Israel from multiple directions and in different ways. Iran has a network of proxy forces including Hamas, the Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Houthi militia in Yemen. This gives Iran the ability to attack targets from northern Israel to the Red Sea. According to Western intelligence, Hezbollah could strike first in a separate attack before Iran conducts its own retaliation. Hezbollah could potentially overwhelm Israel's air defenses by firing enough missiles simultaneously. They could also launch swarms of drones that fly at low altitude, making them difficult to detect and destroy. In April, for the very first time, Iran attacked Israel from its own soil, firing around 300 missiles and drones. This was in response to an alleged Israeli strike on an Iranian embassy complex. Almost all the projectiles were shot down by Israel's air defenses, assisted by the US and other allies. It was the first direct attack by Iran after years of a shadow war between both nations. In the run-up to an imminent Iranian attack, Hamas targeted the Israeli city of Tel Aviv with 2 M90 rockets. Hezbollah also fired a volley of Katyusha rockets towards Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu said Israel was prepared for defense as well as offense. Israeli authorities have told people to stock up on food and water in fortified safe rooms. Hospitals have made plans to move patients to underground wards, and rescue teams have been positioned in all major cities. Israel Defense Forces said it was at peak alert and had increased its patrols over Lebanon to detect and intercept threats. Leaders of US, Britain, France, Germany and Italy called on Iran to stand down its threat of military action and said they supported Israel's defense against Iranian aggression. The US has stepped up its military readiness. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin ordered additional combat aircraft, warships and a guided missile submarine to the Middle East. This is to bolster Israel's capacity to thwart any potential attack and to reinforce the message that it will support the country militarily. At the same time, the Biden administration is hoping to jumpstart ceasefire talks for Gaza. Israel has said it will send negotiators, but Hamas has not said if it will participate in the talks. While Iran believes it is necessary to punish Israel, it is also not interested in escalating regional tensions. Iran's new president, who is seen as a reformist, may try to balance a perceived need to project strength with his government's broader interest in alleviating the effects of Western sanctions. A symbolic military response may be risky from Tehran's perspective, and it may not deter Israel from conducting further attacks. But a substantive response could provoke a bigger Israeli response. And then Tehran may not be able to control the cycle of escalation that could follow. With no good options, which way will Iran go?